Welcome to S24 Rundown. I am Hadiza Galadima, and here is our news in brief. To start with, President Bola Tinubu says he is not intimidated by opposition forces, describing them as noisemakers who do not respect the rule of law. Speaking at the State House during a meeting with renewed Hope ambassadors led by Hope Uzodinma, Tinubu insisted he would not be distracted from governance. The president recalled the challenges of the 2023 elections, noting that the experience had prepared him for the demands of leadership. Tinubu then reaffirmed his commitment to democracy, unity and national development, while urging members of the ruling party to remain united ahead of the future political contest. Meanwhile, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has adjusted the campaign timeline for the Osun State governorship election. The commission announced that campaigns will now end on August 13, 2026. INEC said the change allows the rescheduling of the election to 15th August and in line with the Electoral Act, which mandates campaign to stop 24 hours before voting. The commission urged political parties to comply strictly with the revised timeline. The Joint Admission and Matriculation Board has clarified that there is no ban on the use of hijab during the UTME examination. The statement follows an incident at the CBT Center in Ibadan involving a candidate. JAM described the incident as the action of an overzealous staff member and not official policy. The board reaffirmed its respect for religious freedom and assured candidates that their right to dress according to their beliefs will be protected. And in another development, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, has ranked Nigeria among the top 20 countries with the highest number of cybercrime complaints in 2025. The report placed Nigeria 14th globally with 1,219 complaints recorded. Globally, over 1 million complaints were filed, with financial losses exceeding $20 billion. The report highlighted cyber-enabled fraud as the leading cause of losses, underscoring the growing threat of online scam and identity theft across the world. And the World Bank Group and the African Development Bank, AFDP, have partnered with other global lenders to boost job creation across developing economies. The initiative focuses on improving how investments translate into employment opportunities. Officials say the collaboration will prioritize not just job creation, but also job quality, including wages and working conditions. This move is seen as a step towards addressing unemployment and promoting inclusive economic growth. And finally, on the global scene, France and the United Kingdom are leading talks involving about 40 nations on securing the Straits of Hormuz after recent disruptions. The discussion aims to restore safe navigation and stabilize global energy supply. Leaders including Emmanuel Macron and Keir Starmer are expected to participate with proposals for a defensive multinational mission once conditions permit. Shukra Oniye will now bring us updates from the business world.
Good afternoon and welcome to your business news update on S24 Rundown. I am Shukra Oniye. Beyond the currency market, we are tracking a major leap in Nigeria's industrial sector, a new era of accountability for telecom giants, and a historic shift in global stock. These are the headlines shaping the economy today. We begin with the federal government moving a step closer to making Nigeria a regional steel hub. The Minister of Steel Development, Prince Shuaibu Abubakar Audu, has signed a Memorandum of Understanding, MOU, with the Rashmi Metallic Group in Kolkata, India. This landmark $1 billion investment aims to boost domestic crude steel production to 10 million tons per annum by 2030, reducing Nigeria's reliance on imported construction materials and revitalizing the manufacturing sector. In a decisive victory for consumers, the Nigerian Communication Commission (NCC) has officially begun enforcing its new compensation framework this April. Under this regulation, telecom operators are now mandated to automatically credit subscribers for service failures such as dropped calls, persistent data outage, and slow speed. This move shifts the burden of accountability directly onto the service providers, who must now meet the strict performance indicators, KPIs, or face immediate financial restitution to their users. The federal government has finalized plans to impose a new 2% to 4% levy on high-engine capacity vehicles starting this July. Part of a broader fiscal strategy to boost non-oil revenue and address climate concerns, the green tax targets luxury and high-emission vehicles. These come alongside a firm statement from Finance Minister Wale Edun clarifying that Nigeria has no plans to seek IMF loans despite rising debt concerns. Finally, in a stunning shift in the global financial hierarchy, the Taiwan stock market has officially overtaken the United Kingdom to become the world's 7th largest by market capitalization. Driven by an insatiable global demand for AI-related hardware and the continued dominance of TSMC, the total value of Taiwan-listed companies has soared past $4.1 trillion. This milestone highlights the growing influence of the semiconductor industry over traditional European financial market as the AI revolution continues to reshape investor priorities. Thank you for joining us on this edition of Business Bulletin. Coming up right after this break is our newspaper review, where Hadiza and Abubakar will dissect some stories on the national dailies.
Now is our newspaper review with Abubakar as usual. Abubakar, how are you?
Hello, Khadija.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great, Khadija.
So we begin with our first story from the Daily Trust front page, which says UTME students adopted as exam commences. So what does this incident say about, because I want to hear your own point of view, what does this incident say about the state of the nation as regards students now?
Well, the incident that happened yesterday at Benue, at Otikpo, is sending a signal to some younger students. Because if you look at the adoption that happened yesterday, almost 14 students were adopted on their way to write JAM.
Exactly.
And 2 people were able to run, and 14 were adopted. So this is to tell you the level of insecurity is now taking a new dimension. According to statistics from UNESCO, the northern Nigeria have been a place where number of out-of-school children have been increasing day by day. And it has become clear and obvious to us that this thing is crippling the little education that remain in the northern Nigeria. Because we have seen where students in Chibok were adopted, we have seen where students in Kankara were adopted, we have seen where students at Papiri were adopted, and we have seen a lot of, in many places, students were adopted in northern Nigeria, from Zamfara, from Katsina, from Yobe, from Borno State, and now look at it yesterday, students were also adopted at Benue State on their way to Rajam. So it will be very difficult for those people after passing through this traumatic experience, if they are being released freely, it may be very difficult for them. I think maybe some of them, that is going to be the end of their dream, wishes, and aspirations.
For during their education.
During their education. And you know, those are young Nigerians who are eager to enter into university, secure admission, and at least be somebody, some people in the nearest future. So they are now being traumatized on their way. They are adopted by unknown gunmen. So it will be very difficult for them after release for them to feel the taste and aroma to pursue education.
So looking at the security landscape of Nigeria's situation and landscape of Nigeria, how bad it is, don't you think exam bodies should put it into consideration of, like, put logistics into consideration of wanting to, okay, we don't need to make these people exceed their environs, exceed their vicinity in order just to write examinations? Don't you think they need to sit down and address this issue?
Khadija, sometimes in Nigeria, talking is easier than doing.
Exactly.
We have beautiful policies theoretically, but when it comes to implementation, that is where the problem starts. We have seen recently, some few months ago, where there has been a kind of like a tussle, where electronically, where we can transmit our result electronically. There have been a tussle there.
Yeah.
So as long as it will be very difficult for those people are Gen Zs. We are now in 21st century. Within the comfort of your zone, you can write your jam. You are free from any hazard, from any form of insecurity. I think maybe this is high time for JAM to start looking inward in order to minimize the rate of risks that is going on in this country. Because if you look at Nigeria, nowhere is safe, except there is one place that is safe in Nigeria, the glass house, where the president is.
Is it really that safe?
It's really very safe. It's a house in the villa where the president is. So that is the only place that is safe in Nigeria.
We hope so, because like the security situation in the country is not actually showing us that anyone is safe. But like you said, the glass house is the only safest place in the country.
Zainab, there are Nigerians that are living in a situation whereby they will only raise up their hand to pray to God to protect them, because even the security agencies are unprotected.
Exactly.
We have seen series of attacks. We have seen series of generals were killed, series of colonels were killed.
Exactly. So what should be done to prevent incidents like this in the nearest future? Because we just have to have a way out of this.
Of course, we need to have a way out, because what is going to be the solution? In a nutshell, the solution, people should think that there is life after death.
Exactly. Exactly, and I just wonder how the parents of these students are actually feeling right now, and what other students are actually going through right now just because they want to write the same examinations they are writing. So our second headline is still coming from Daily Trust, which says heat wave force Kano people to sleep outside. Abubakar, now are we going to attribute this to climate change, or what is really happening in Kano? Because we know we have some states in Nigeria that their weather condition when it comes to heat is actually very, very unconducive. So what would you say is happening to Kano and Kano people?
Well, I can attribute these incidents to three factors. First, the residents of Kano. Second, climate change. Third, government. In a situation whereby people are always cutting down trees, looking for firewood, deforestation, you will definitely experience this kind of like climate change.
That's one thing in one of the states in northern Nigeria that I traveled to recently. I got to find out that you will hardly see them cut down trees, and that's Bauchi State. And when we were going around, we had to give it to them. That
even in Gombe State, there is a program that was introduced by the state government, 3G, Gombe goes green. So this is to make the environment goes green so that everyone can have a conducive environment. The state will be at ease, the atmosphere will be at peace, and the wind will keep on blowing. So in a situation whereby many people are cutting down some trees in order to look for a source of livelihood, you will definitely experience that. Then if you cut down your tree, it will trigger climate change. Recently, we saw a report from NIMET that almost 33 states in Nigeria are going to experience flood.
And they've pointed out some states that will experience earthquakes.
I recently had a conversation with one of my friends. He's a geographer. He was just he just told me that the presence of ozone layer is affected too.
It's thinning.
So the other one, when I say the other factor, is the inability of the government. I'm not talking of Kano government only, the entire 19 northern states. Because if we are talking of heat that make Kano people to sleep outside, then what are we still doing? What of our availability of dam? We have Chalawa Dam. We have Kusola Dam. We have Datinkowa Dam, we have Tiga Dam, we have Bakalori Dam, we have Suleja Dam, we have Kayanji Dam, and many more in northern Nigeria. Why don't we harness them in order to keep generating enough and adequate electricity that will power the entire Nigerians? Sleeping outside, you're exposed to hazard, disease, venomous animals, and even insecurity.
So, like now, what will you say will be the precautions people of Kano State can take in order to be able to live through this period? Because it is something that, whether they like it or not, they are experiencing it and they are living in it. What precautions can they take?
They should plant more trees.
I agree with you on that.
They should plant more trees. And they should urge the government to at least provide some necessary palliative, maybe by distributing some hand fan, make the power stable. A
cooling system or cooling event center.
A cooling event center. Make the power stable for a common man in Kano. And I believe we're going to see the light of, and let them have a law that whosoever found cutting down a tree, he should be penalized, and he should plant at least 5.
Okay, now moving on to our next newspaper, which is on Vanguard, and this is on their front page, which says IMF warns of tough time for Nigerians. Abubakar, I know you are good in what you do. So what can you say about this in practical terms, in simple terms, for someone who is watching right now?
We don't need any warning. We don't need anything from IMF because Nigerians know what is exactly going on. IMF calling Nigerians that there is going to be a tough time, I think, is a duplication, or they are reiterating to what is already going on. Because in a country where the government of the day have withdrew subsidy on electricity, have withdrew subsidy on petroleum, have withdrawn subsidy on education, have withdrawn subsidy on healthcare, have withdrawn subsidy virtually in everything. The only thing that the government is subsidizing us is the breath that we are receiving.
Which is just free. And
that is natural. So coming out from IMF to tell Nigerians there is going to be another tougher time, I think this is just a duplication of what Nigerians are already going on.
It's a duplication of what is already happening in the country, but they are just telling you to brace up because of the conflict that is actually happening in the Middle East between Iran and US. So they're just trying to tell you that because that has an effect on the economy, which I wouldn't say I'm going to blame the country, but we're just way too dependent on outside world that it gets to affect us to this point. So,
if I may ask you,
I'm listening.
If not just because of Nigeria is lacking the necessary leadership, the conflict that is happening in Iran and USA
shouldn't be
affecting us.
Exactly.
Because we are living in a different climate. We are in Africa, they are in the Middle Belt. And USA is in America.
Talking about that.
So what is...
Okay, calm down. Okay, calm down. Okay, one last thing. So in one sentence, before we round up, in one sentence, what is the takeaway key here for anybody, and for you, for me, for like our viewers out there? What's the takeaway key here for them?
That is, we should come back to our senses in electing credible candidates and credible leaders that will do the needful in such critical moments. Because how much are you buying fuel now? And Nigeria, as I tell many people, Nigeria is among the OPEC, Organization of Exporting, OPEC, the countries that are exporting crude oil. While we're exporting crude oil, why will we be buying fuel at the price is too much.
Ridiculous.
So I think maybe it's high time for Nigerians to look inward in selecting the credible candidates, selecting credible leaders as we are approaching 2027 election. Maybe this is the right time for Nigerians to get it right.
I'm a kind of man with wisdom. Thank you so much for your input. And that's it on Newspaper Review today. Up next is S24 Report, coming up after the break.
In a time where conversation about development often feel distant, this event captures a space where change feels real, personal, and possible. At the Balawunti Tech Fellowship, one thing remains clear. The future of Bauchi is deeply tied to the strength, vision, and involvement of its youth in the tech space.
A large number of Nigerians are just occupying space. They are serious liabilities. I'm serious. Now, we don't want you to be part of them. That's the essence of this fellowship.
My name is Ango Mustafa, and I'm Director of Programs at 20 Al Khair Foundation. So the Balawunti Fellowship, Technology Fellowship, was the foundation's efforts in improving the livelihood of young people in Bauchi and to contribute to the economic development of Bauchi State.
Participants were introduced to the pillars of becoming responsible leaders, values that go beyond ambition and focus on accountability, service, and consistency. A strong emphasis was placed on the idea that true leadership begins from within and is reflected in how individuals show up for others.
My name is Karima Ahmed Yusuf. I am a fellow of the Wunti Al Khair Tech Fellowship. I'm studying front-end engineering. And what I've learned so far, I'm very grateful for this opportunity because it's once in a lifetime, kind of opportunity. I've been to places, a lot of eye-opener for me, and which I would never take for granted. Aside meeting, a lot of other people, the different personalities, learning from them, and the whole pack filled with meeting mentors, getting inspired, is really something that would, that's guided me through the whole 1 year fellowship, which I'm super grateful for.
The organizers, Mustafa Ango, spoke on the way Bauchi State is trying to amplify the youth in the tech space and also for them to make impact in their communities.
What differentiates you is to see after your job, there are other side things, because one source of income can never sustain anyone, except you want to live a mediocre kind of life.
The youth was selected by criteria, and the selected individuals that scaled through were the ones at the fellowship.
My name is Salim Gidadu. I'm a management consultant. And interestingly, I'm also from Bauchi State. So this very noble project is very dear to me, to see young people being mentored on how to become successful in their careers. And this afternoon, we're going to be discussing about how to use communication to unlock the numerous opportunities that young people stand to gain once they master that very crucial, important skill.
The participants also spoke on the fellowship so far, what they have learned, and what they hope to do after the fellowship.
My name is Ibrahim Murtala Muhammad, and I am a fellow at the Balawunti Tech Fellowship cohort of 2026, and I'm studying product management. What we've learned so far during the bootcamp, from the resilience session to the leadership session, I think it has kind of opened my eyes towards the possibilities of what could actually be achieved, especially on the leadership session. I've always been asking myself, how do you build better things and ensure that they last? And the answer that I got was to build better leaders and develop leaders all across the board.
Through initiatives like the Balawunti Tech Fellowship, a pathway is being created for Bauchi youth to rise, lead, and drive transformation within their communities through technology, resilience, and purpose.
Kurike Juna, it's very important. Make your journey easy and make your name respected. And may you become men and women who lift Bauchi and Nigeria to a better place. Thank you so much. If there are questions, very few. Thank you.
And welcome back from that break. This is Political Arena with me, Abubakar Shraki. When Nigerian youth are given opportunity to take part in governance, many people across the country are calling for more inclusion. This is based on the belief that when the energy of young people is combined with the experience and wisdom of leaders, the country can achieve a better, more lasting result. However, this also brings up important questions about readiness, structure, and how youth can fit into the political system. to help me understand this discussion, I am joined by my colleague, Shukrat, to understand the reason why the clamoring and call for youth inclusion in governance is all over. Shukrat, welcome to Political Arena.
Thank you, Abubakar, for having me.
So, Shukrat, as a young Nigerian, what are your expectations when young people are given opportunity to be in governance?
First and first, I expect inclusivity. Inclusivity is very important. Inclusivity in all aspects of government, because I feel the young people are closer to the people and they know ways to get feedbacks from their people on any policy or any system they are carrying out or things they are trying to do. They are supposed to be inclusive. They're supposed to carry the people along in every aspect of everything they are trying to do. And they are going to focus on the problems, the actual problems. They are not just going to say, oh, these are the problems, these are the problems, this is why Nigeria is not this, this is why Nigeria is not that. They know the problems already. They'll carry out the problems. Job creation, they are going to channel energy, ideas. They are going to put in place systems and structures that can help defeat the problems of Nigeria. And I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, young people do not have the experience. So far, where has experience led us? Nowhere. Experience has not led us anywhere. So I think it's high time we let go of experience and focus on skills.
Can you elaborate more? Experience have not led Nigeria anywhere. With all the gigantic structures that are going on, with all the huge and all the progress that Nigerians witness, and you are saying that experience have not led Nigerians anywhere.
Nigeria is witnessing progress. But the progress we are witnessing is not the progress we should be witnessing. Just recently, the president of Ghana said God should help Nigeria, so big countries like Nigeria would not be running to small countries like Ghana. Are we experiencing enough progress?
But there is a bilateral relationship between Nigeria and
There is, but we are running to them. He used the word running to them. Should we be running to them? No. Nigeria is the giant of Africa. Do you think we have experienced enough progress to live up to that name, giant of Africa? No. We do not have the stability it takes to be the giant of Africa yet.
Despite the fact that Nigeria played a vital role in the liberation of places it has contributed to a peacekeeping operation, it has contributed to making the continent stable.
I'm not disputing that. But is Nigeria itself stable? No. We are contributing to other people's stability when we ourselves are not stable. I'm not saying we should not contribute. We should contribute. But if you are going to contribute in something you do not have, you should have it first. Should you not? Nigeria is progressive, but the progress we are making is not the progress we're supposed to be making. We are supposed to be far ahead. Hence why we need innovative young minds on this in the leadership in the country. They should not be treated as like learners. They should be treated as co-partners with our I don't want to say old, but with our grown-up leaders.
From all indication, young people have given opportunity in the Fourth Republic, and we have seen what people like Yahya Bello showcase. We have seen what people like Senator Elisha Apo have showcased, and we have seen many young people, when given opportunity in the governance, they used to use it in order to personal use instead of service to the people.
That is where I'll say they were leaning into the already existing system. They are leaning into the already existing system. Instead of them not to lean into it, they are leaning into it. And speaking of young people, how old was Yahya Bello when he got into government?
He was still young, in his late 30s.
In his late 30s. He's not exactly young. He's a middle-aged man. So he just adapted what has already been there, and he kept on doing it. He didn't stop it. He didn't try to break the circle of gerontocratic ideas that were already in existence. He leaned into it and adapted what has been there instead of creating his own new structures, bringing his own energy and innovative ideas into the system. Hence why you should not be stereotypical, using one person to judge the others, using one youth to judge the other youths.
But I have given you so many examples.
Have we used, if we are talking about what the youth have not done, should we talk about the gerontocratic people?
We are talking of youth of nowadays.
Not youth of nowadays. Yahya Bello is not the youth of nowadays. Last I checked, he was born in 1980s, and that's not nowadays. Not 1990, not 2000s. He was born in the early 1980s, and that's not nowadays. Check, that's like 40 years back. if I'm not mistaken.
So from the way you spoke, you are pretty optimistic that once the opportunity is given to young people, Nigeria may move toward progress, development, unity, and progress.
You see, that is me not being realistic. I'm a realist. Being a realist, just give the power to young people, they will do better. Nobody's saying that. But they will help, they will assist and move Nigeria, direct Nigeria towards where it should be going. They will not just sit on the idea of experience. This person did it like this, let me do it like this. The person that did it like this, that you want to do like this, when did the person rule? The person ruled 40 years back, the person ruled 50 years back. We should focus on new ideas, and I think young people are going to be more innovative with their ideas and focus on the present and not rely on what somebody has done in the past. So
I quite agree with your submission.
And I'm not saying young people are just going to come and fix everything, but they will drive Nigeria towards where it should be going. That's what I'm saying.
Many opportunities are given to you, especially when it comes to like student unionism. And we have been seeing how young people are misappropriating the little fund that was injected in the student unionism body. So what can you say about that?
You should not generalize. The people in government currently are embezzling funds. Why should it be directed at young people alone? Those in higher level of government are also embezzling funds, and those are older people. Just like I said earlier, they are leaning into the already existing system. And you should not be stereotypical and say because one student...
But you cannot copy somebody directly now. At least you are a different human being. At least you are expected to do something differently.
That's the thing. Most ideas are generic, similar, similarity. This person is doing this, I want to do this. This person is doing this, let us do this. And you should not be stereotypical to say because one SUG government messed up, the others are also messing up. Not all SUG governments are messing up. Some are actually good, just that the bad will always be louder than the good.
But most of them are running and there is no accountability and transparency.
Who told you that? Where did you see that? Where?
I also went to university.
Yes, I'm currently a university student. There is accountability in some. Of course, it cannot be all of them cannot be good, and all of them cannot be bad. That is the point. Not all young people are credible to be leaders, and not all of them are not credible to be leaders. But we have not even given them the chance to know, yes, this person is credible or not. We should give them the chance to know they are credible. To know. Have you given any young person the chance to be credible apart from Yaya Bello and Alicia?
They are the likes of Bello El-Rufai, who is representing Kaduna North.
So far, so good. How has he been doing?
Oh, he's doing fantastically.
Exactly.
Great.
Is he not a young person? Why would you not use the likes of him to judge the others? And you choose to use the likes of somebody that is 40 to judge the others. Use one person's fault to cover us. And the fact that Nigerians says old people have not been leading the country so yeah.
Okay, when it comes to self-centered ideology among the young people, and it has come to our notice, it's obvious that young people nowadays, they cherish their comfort zone instead of using their youthful age in search of education, knowledge, and even skills. What can you say about that?
You have been mistaken, Abubakar. Young people do not cherish their comfort zone. Have you seen the rate in which young Nigerians are bagging PhDs? Young Nigerians are bagging PhDs in courses like mathematics. In serious...
The ratio is not even 1 to 10.
No, because we are focusing on something that is more profitable. That is where the older people have led Nigerians. We no longer focus on things that we are truly passionate about, as everything we are passionate about now is just hustle.
We have seen a situation whereby young people, a young adult, a young Nigerian man, may likely stay under his comfort zone, Facebooking, TikToking,
no.
And wasting his precious time.
No, he's not wasting his precious time. If he's Facebooking, he's probably going to get monetized on Facebook and start earning. That is where the older people have led the country to. Nowadays, we no longer people go to school just to survive, not out of passion or be educated. I had the opportunity
to speak to many young Nigerians, and most of them, their response is, most of them, they go to school just because to have the certificate.
And to survive. They want to get a job that will fit them and their families.
The essence of education is getting a job.
The essence of
literacy.
The essence of education should be fighting literacy. But with where Nigeria is today, would you care about illiteracy if you have not eaten? Would you care about illiteracy if you cannot afford basic necessities like shelter, water? Do you see the fact that there has not the electricity in Nigeria is not stable? And I thought it was just one part of Nigeria until I figured out it was almost all parts of Nigeria. Electricity is not stable. If you use your certificate to fight illiteracy, who would fight poverty for you? What would you use to fight poverty?
Will open more doors for you. But what I'm trying to let you understand is many young people nowadays, they felt like going to school is not even important. There is even a slogan that they are using, school is a scam. And these are the type of people that you are agitating for.
No.
An opportunity to be given to them.
Like I said earlier, you are stereotypical. You are stereotyping. They are young people who in fact believe knowledge is the basis of a nation. Do you understand? The young people in the nation have to be educated. But you have to be, as a Nigerian nowadays, the basis of education is not just to be educated, it's just to survive. That is where older people have driven the country to.
Right. Before we draw the curtain
we are just trying to survive.
Before we draw the curtain of the program, in a nutshell, what is your call to young Nigerians that are eager to venture into elective position?
First and first, I would say they should not be eager. Eagerness is not going to get them anywhere. They should be patient.
But they have been eager for the past decades.
Yes, and the thing is, we should elect credible young people. Credible young people, people that are actually credible. We should not just say, oh, because this person is young, we should let the person in. No, is the person credible? Does the person have the knowledge, the innovation, the idea it takes, the energy? Is the person ready to change the structure and the system? Is the person ready to widen the structure and mold the structure in a way is going to fit for other young people to come in?
You're calling for meritocracy over interest.
Yes. Does the person have the interest of the people at heart? Because we're saying, oh, young people do not have the interest of people at heart. Have we tried them? No. Does the young person you are bringing in to be elected, does he have the interest of the people at heart?
Okay, Shukran, I think we have to draw the curtain of the program. We're going to have this conversation after this program because you spoke extensively good about young Nigerians, and I believe what you said, they will definitely listen to you, and I believe Nigerians will see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Amen.
That is all what we have on Political Arena. Stay tuned for our S24 Day commentary.
Before you register with SMEDA, they will ask you to register with the Corporate Affairs Commission. That is why this government, under my leadership as the head of Corporate Affairs Commission, last year, we gifted 250,000 free registration to small
skills
SMEs businesses. That's to tell you we're not after the money. We're after to make them formalize in terms of monetary policy, fiscal policy. They will have idea of what they are going to do with the population in the economy.
So what are your key activities for the informal sector? You've mentioned for the formal sector. What about the informal sector? That they feel like maybe the system is cumbersome for them to come and do registration. They are not tech savvy and all that.
We have gone far in terms of our collaborations with some other government institutions to see how we can facilitate and help them to come on board, being informal to be formal. And like some institutions of the government, like we have memorandum of understanding with the University of Abuja, and some institutions, being a academic environment, they are not encouraging graduating students to come out to start seeking for government jobs or other things. They are training them to be entrepreneurs.
Skills.
So if you are coming out from such kind of institutions, you're coming out with 2 certificates. They will give you academic certificates, and they will give you enterprising certificate. That is a CSC certificate. Right from the school, they are bringing them to be formal. This is one of our interface. So our mandate is to facilitate them to come in, to have their businesses at ease. This is our core mandate. There are other agencies which they have other roles in the informal sectors.
What are the top services Nigerians ignore with CAC that could protect them legally and financially, yet they don't even know they exist? Like you've mentioned over 100 other services. What are those other services, apart from filing the annual returns and a few other things?
Everything goes down to compliance.
Okay.
For instance, you are expected when you do any mortgage transaction with the bank or any other thing, you are expected to file your charges. That document at the Corporate Affairs Commission is for the safety of your own business and is for the safety of your own self. So that is, you're making it enforceable. You are making it enforceable. What it means that if you have given out as a lender, if someone now in breach and refuse to pay you, by being registered with the Corporate Affairs Commission, you can proceed either by way of debenture and other things. You can proceed to recover your money through so many means. These are one of the issues that people that are not taking it serious and taking advantage of the Corporate Affairs Commission to do. This is just a limit. I'll give you just example, but because of we're talking of the public should understand and they should be educated on some of our services. That is why we came up with the AI lawyer. It's there boldly in our website, AI lawyer there. If you now take any questions around corporate activities in Nigeria, particularly the one centered in the Company and Allied Matters Act, it will give you, within a second, you will get the guidance, provisions of the law, what you should do, what you should not do. It is there rolled out as in our website. Visit www.cac.gov.ng. You will see our AI lawyer ready to interface with you for any questions.
Sometimes you find small business owners, they will say, I'm struggling. Why should I file returns when I'm just trying to survive? What will your response look like, especially in a tough economy, without sounding distant from the daily realities of ordinary Nigerians today? You'll say, I'm just small business. Why should I? It's just, you've mentioned it's a token, let's say 10,000 naira. And a small business said, I'm struggling. Why should I file the annual returns? What will you say to them?
Let me take a fintech as an example. Fintech does that. They are doing small businesses like POS businesses. If you ask them now, they will tell you they've been paying some levies or tax to either local government authorities. They'll come around and every month they collect so amount, so all these kind of things. This is just one of the items that they render to other government agencies. But for the Corporate Affairs Commission, we expect them to pay once in a year. And when you pay once in a year, it's just 5,000. You mentioned 10,000. It's not 10,000.
I just said, for instance.
For small businesses, it's just 5,000. We're not after that 5,000 naira. We're after to tell you, like for instance, I was reading, is it yesterday or yesterday, one of the criminals that the security succeeded in killing. Someone, he saw the body. He saw the body of one of the people that held him at ransom, kidnapped him at a particular point. He said, oh, this particular guy, he narrated his experience during that
ordeal.
He narrated his ordeal. And he was mentioning that he even shared the transaction receipt, that the money they paid through POS. They paid that ransom through POS of 2 billion naira. He shared on the Facebook. I read it. So you can see, if security agencies now got that receipt, they can trace where this money goes, who is the people behind this particular POS, because any POS now operating in Nigeria is expected to register with the Corporate
Affairs Commission.
The disgruntled one who are refused to turn up to register with the Corporate Affairs Commission, they are the one their business is being flagged.
Yes,
so
and falling victims as well.
And falling victim, and those with the records. Like for instance now, security agencies will just write to the CAC, this particular POS, give us the details about this particular person. We'll now search in our data.
Is it there?
We'll find out this one, yes, is really registered with the Corporate Affairs Commission. This is his address. This is where he's operating, and this way this, and they can easily be traced, tracked, and punished.
Welcome back. Here are the latest updates shaping the world of technology and digital innovation. I'm Gladys Asuko, bringing you today's tech updates. The Nigeria Data Protection Commission has issued a critical advisory to organizations across the country, following rising cyber threats targeting Nigeria's digital systems. The Commission warned that data controllers and processors, including financial institutions and digital platforms, must strengthen their security measures to prevent breaches and protect user information. The development highlights growing concerns over data safety as Nigeria continues to expand its digital economy.
In recent development, Borno State has partnered with Kashem Ibrahim's University to advance artificial intelligence education, focusing on training and digital skills development. Meanwhile, Nigeria has launched a 30 billion naira nationwide rollout of AI-powered innovation hubs, beginning with the University of Lagos, aimed at promoting innovation and preparing young people at the development economy. And on the global space, the South African Revenue Service is conducting scheduled upgrades to its digital platform today, April 17, 2026, as part of ongoing efforts to improve system security, performance, and overall user experience. The agency says users may experience temporary service disruption during the maintenance period, particularly across its e-filing and other online tech services. According to officials, the upgrade is aimed at strengthening system reliability and enhancing the protection of taxpayer data as digital services continue to play a critical role in revenue collection and administration. And that brings us to the end of ICT World. Don't go away. Khadija Mohammed is on standby with the entertainment updates after the break.
And now, let's dive into the entertainment update for today. The Afrobeat sensation Iris Star is stepping boldly into a new era. The 23-year-old star officially announced her third studio album, Stargirl, set for release in July 2026. During a standout appearance on the Jennifer Hudson show, she unveiled the album with a glamorous promo review and treated fans to a live performance of her new single, Where Do We Go? She was dressed in a striking sheer blue mesh outfit against open skyline visuals. The moment was made even more special backstage, where Iris Star met her long-term idol, Rihanna, a full-cycle experience that underscored her growing global influence, with Grammy-nominated projects already under her belt. The Stargirl is shaping up to be her biggest statement yet. From global stages to fresh collaboration making waves at home, the Afrobeat scene continues to thrive with exciting new sounds. Fast-rising star King Madi teams up with the street hop sensation Zinoliski on their very new single, Pepper Dem. The 2-minute 27-second track produced by KFMD blends King Madi's smooth, soulful vocals and Zinoliski's signature street edge, creating a catchy and emotionally layered Afrobeat vibe. Ahead of its release, teasers showing both artists in coordinated plaid outfit dancing together sparked excitement across the social media. The single dropped late April 16 and is already gaining traction landing on New Music Friday Niger playlist as fans push for chart success. King Madi marked the release with a thoughtful gestures, a government gift package and handwritten notes to Zinoliski highlighting the camaraderie behind the collaborations. Meanwhile, the music continues to break boundaries. The film industry in northern Nigeria tells a different story, one shaped by culture, faith, and resilience. Welcome to Kannywood, northern Nigerian, thriving film industry, deeply rooted in Hausa culture and guided by Islamic principle. It is known for its loyal audience and consistent storytelling. Kannywood remains one of Africa's most influential regional cinemas, but behind the glamour lies a complex reality. Unlike many global film industry, the Kannywood operates under strict censorship, where storylines, costumes, and even on-screen interaction must align with religious and cultural expectation. For many actresses, the challenges extend beyond the camera. Some face intense societal judgment with lingering belief that a career in film could impact family reputation. For others, stepping into the spotlight requires courage, choosing a path often seen as unconventional or even rebellious. Yet, despite these prejudices, many filmmakers use storytelling as a powerful tool to reflect authentic experiences and artistic expression. And speaking of culture and identity, beyond film and music, some traditions tell powerful stories without saying a word. In the Yangatom tribe, beauty is not just seen, it is carried. From childhood, a girl receives her first strand of bead from her father, marking the beginning of a lifelong cultural journey. And over time, she adds more layers, each bead representing growth, identity, and pride. For some women, these beads can weigh as much as 6 to 8 kilograms, worn daily as a symbol of resilience and heritage. Beyond their visual appeal, the beads signify family bonds, womanhood, and social status within the community. In Yengatom culture, every strand tells a story, transforming adornment into living expression of history, strength, and belongings. And that brings us to the end of today's entertainment segment. Up next is Sport News with Martha. After
and welcome to your sports update, where we bring you the biggest stories from football and athletics. We begin with Arsenal FC, who are mourning the passing of former goalkeeper Alex Manenga. The Austrian, who joined the club in the late 1990s, played an important role during his time in North London, stepping in during key moments and earning praise for his calm presence between the posts. In a statement, Arsenal described Manenga as a dedicated professional and a valued member of the club's history, extending condolences to his family and loved ones. Tributes have also continued to pour in from former teammates and fans across the football world. Meanwhile, attention turns to a crucial Premier League encounter as Manchester City hosts Arsenal FC in what has been described as a title-deciding clash. Arsenal currently sits at the top of the table, but City remain close behind with games in hand, making this a potential turning point in the title race. A win for Manchester City could shift momentum in their favour, while Arsenal will be aiming to extend their lead and strengthen their chances of lifting the trophy. With both sides in strong form, expectations are high for a competitive and high-stakes encounter. On the athletics scene, Nigeria's Asoko delivered an impressive performance at the MTN Champs finale, dominating the men's 400 meters race. His performance not only secures victory, but also highlighted his growing reputation as one of the country's promising track athletes. The MTN Champs event continues to serve as a platform for discovering and developing young athletic talents across Nigeria, with several standout performances recorded at the finale. And finally, former England international Ashley Cole has begun his coaching career in Italy, taking charge of Serie B side Cesena. The former Chelsea FC and Arsenal defender is widely regarded as one of the best full-backs of his generation. And this new role marks a significant step in his transition from playing to management, having previously worked as an assistant coach at club and international levels. Cole now faces the challenge of leading a team as head coach for the first time, with hopes of making an impact in Italian football. And that's it on Sports Update. Up next is Pidgin News with Siddiqui Yusuf after the break.
Una welcome, my people. Make we yarn wetin dey happen for Nigeria reach Obodo Oyibo today. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu don talk am bold and clear say no shaking. As he no dey fear any opposition people, he say they be noisemakers wey no get respect for wetin law talk. Tinubu yarn this one for Villa when he dey follow some group wey dem dey call Renewed Hope Ambassadors talk. He say make nobody think say dem fit use grammar distract am from him work. Say you remember how the 2023 election tough reach, and that one don teach am lesson wey don make his mind strong for leadership. He tell him party people say may they join hands together to see say they fit win plenty seats. And today we carry Yahoo gist come. FBI for America don't bring one report where they find out say for 2025, Nigeria named there for number 14 for the list of countries where cybercrime, where they call Yahoo plenty pass. For all the countries where they for the whole world, now 1,219 complaints they record against Nigeria. The report say entire world don't lose waiting past $20 billion because of this Yahoo. FBI say this Yahoo and all the other ways people they take scam people online don't turn big wahala where they make many people lose their hard-earned money. INEC don't shift the final day where political parties for Osun State supposed stop their campaign. Now, everything they say it must end on 13 August 2026. The reason be say they don't move the main election to August 15, since the law talks say all campaign must stop 24 hours before voting day. INEC say make all the party follow the new rule to avoid wahala. For inside jam, we just start yesterday. Bad people don't kidnap 14 people for Benue, and students where they go right jam join inside. Jam officials and government say they check who and who they kidnap, and they struggle to see say they bring them back safely, especially those children who won't go right jam. Security people too don't talk say they security people too don't talk say they find them to make sure say they come back safe. Another jam tori be say jam don't come out, come clear the air, say they no ban hijab for any of the exam center. This one happened after one staff for Ibadan CBT center been stop one student because she wear hijab. Jam say that staff just overdo, say they no send them. They say they respect everybody's religion, and any student free to dress according to what they believe and according to their religion, as long as say it no break any exam rule. For Obodo Yibo, the World Bank and African Development Bank, AFDB, don't agree to work together to make sure say more jobs there for people. They don't just want anyhow job. They want job where go pay well and where the condition go good for the workers. They say this partnership go help different countries get money for investment where go actually put food for people table, and it go reduce the level of joblessness where they for our streets. Still for inside Obodo Yibo, France and UK, United Kingdom, don't ready to lead almost 40 other countries to discuss how they go take guard the Strait of Hormuz where oil they follow pass. They say the place now one big water road where plenty oil ships they pass, but some wahala don't they happen there lately. The leaders, including Emmanuel Macron and Keir Starmer, want make sure say the road they safe so that oil go feed the flow go everywhere, and price safe no go jump up. If the place they say where oil the waka where go everywhere, oil price go reduce. They plan to send many soldiers from different countries go there to go secure the place. And they say they go carry soldiers from all the countries where they forward so that they go feel go there, go make sure say the place they all right. Now all the story we bring today be that. My name na Sidikat Yusuf. I will live now with Hadiza Galadima.
Thank you, Sidika Yusuf, for that version of our news. We've come to the end of S24 News Rundown. Do join us tomorrow, or see you next week, same time, as you follow us on all our social media handles on S24 Television. I am Hadiza Galadima.